Yeah, thank you very much, Joni. I like to add a little bit what you had a fantastic starting slide for that, but exactly being here in also my role as a president, I also want to give you a short status update, obviously, and where is the OPC Foundation going? Because it's going beyond on what you have seen on Joni's slide. And this is what obviously I like to transport, and because just to provide you some success stories, I can do that remotely and give you links, and you can read that on your own. So I also like to definitely share very quickly a few information on what's going on. First of all, right now we have election for the board of directors. OPC Foundation is a democratic elected organization, a board. You do not put money on the table. And first time in history, we have 2 Chinese candidates. And maybe you now think, oh, risk? I feel proud on that. I feel honored on that still we have a lot of candidates and that even China is looking to this international standard. For me, it would be great. And since years, I try to get a Chinese company to the board of directors. And there has been some big political impacts that this has not worked out, but hopefully it works out now. Second, this picture has been taken at the SPS show, where we made a huge historical wall, the journey of OPC. And we figured out by accident that the first working group of OPC UA has been done in November 2003. So we realized, oh, birthday. And we realized that pretty late. So we decided that they started development standardization in 2003, but the first specification, OPC UA version 1.0, has been published in the year 2006. So in 3 years, we are really celebrating heavily. But this also means we have 17 years of stability with OPC UA without losing any backward compatibility. And that's a key for end users. And yesterday, I had the honor to speak with a lot of end users in Norway, Equinor and other big companies, and they have huge success with this. And we hear later on from Aspen, who is working with Equinor a lot, and he's the brain behind these projects, that they are really proud on this. The number of companion standards is now over 151. That's, for me, the largest pool of information modelings. It's incredible. And obviously, we started more in discrete manufacturing and in process. But we will see later on, and this is why I'm not touching this here in detail, that Aspen is giving a deep dive in OPC for the energy market. And today I'm able to listen to you. Yesterday I had to escape to catch my flight. Overall, and this is where you see the activities. This year we published already 25 specifications. We made still right now there are 17 calls for review on the road. And my hint for you more technical orientated people is, maybe you're not aware, but you can subscribe for a specific technology only related newsletter. And then you just get short emails of each of these activities with 2 lines of text, so you are aware of that. So just subscribe on that page. Also, what I realized is that I mean, I attended this LADS, Laboratory and Analyzer Device Standard hackathon, where companies come together, and even competing companies are sitting together on tables depending on what toolkit, what implementation language they're using. I was part of that, and it was amazing to see that developers are able within 2 days write an OPC server which is fulfilling my device is a whatever device. It has a fixed namespace. That makes it a little bit easier compared to what I did 20 years ago with a PLC, where the machine builder is downloading code, and this means what the namespace is. But it was great, and I had great experience, and I like to thank you, Joni, because there was a team who could not proceed with their companion spec because the companion spec was built on the latest, greatest 1.05 OPC UA stuff, and they had your Java toolkit just on 1.04. 1.05 was not released. I gave you a call. You downloaded it for them. They have been able to fulfill at that workshop, and everybody was happy. That's really what I love on OPC Foundation, right? Okay. Addressing a little bit that I believe is extending what Joni mentioned. We know, and a lot of people don't know what is OPC. Is it a protocol? And I always have to say, no, it's a super rich modeling language where you can model everything. And yes, it has transport and security inside, and I don't want to repeat that. But overall, and this is what Joni mentioned, yes, we started growing here in the OT world. We have connectivity to the cloud world. But number 3, applications inside the cloud is definitely where I believe is where OPC UA is growing much, much more. So I'm skipping here my parts on the field stuff because Peter Lutz is coming later. So I'm not going here into the details. He can advertise that. What I noticed, and we have another presentation today about process industry. Hello, Peter. Just talked about you. That we first time had an Ethernet APL device from company Samsung, and out of this process automation device, standardized data OPC UA via UDP are published, right? Okay, so you get more details later on from Peter here. OPC UA to the edge, again, this has OPC pub sub via UDP and MQTT has been released 2018, but just 2021. And honestly, I don't know why that late. But 3 years later, we started this demonstrator on publishing data via MQTT to the cloud. And from a strategic position, my believing is that we have heavily OT companies inside the OPC Foundation and not enough IT companies and not enough cloud companies. And we also don't have them on the board. So this is the strategy I have to think about. How can we involve them in a better way? Anyway, 3 years later, this year at 2023, we had already 53 companies pushing standardized OPC UA data out of the controller via MQTT, and we have Microsoft and AWS who are receiving them without any additional interpretation. That's great. This is exactly the additional benefits where you don't have to take care on, and you do the modeling of your namespace, and the rest of technology in the background is delivering additional benefits. But what a lot of people forget, and Joni and I, we are in a personal, very friendly friendship relationship, so I'm allowed to say this. This is missing on your slide, and we should not miss it. The cloud library is the world's largest open, free, available information pool for standardized information models on OPC UA. From the OPC Foundation, with all partners, VDMA is also here, but also with company-donated standards. Like Equinor donated a lot of companion specifications. Well, Equinor OPC UA-based information models, right? And that's really amazing to see. In case, I don't know if also here in Finland is a kind of fight. It's not. It's a fake news discussion between Sparkplug and OPC UA PubSub. I don't know if it's existing here. If you are based on that and you have to argue this, you have fantastic now really neutral information from analysts who analyzed both OPC UA PubSub and Sparkplug. Okay, talking a little bit about cloud, OPC UA in the cloud, because I really believe it's important. And the reason is there are coming European regulations, which is touching everybody who is creating machines or devices inside the European Union, or if you import machines from the outside of the world. It is called the Digital Product Passport, the Product Carbon Footprint, and the Cyber Resilience Act. And this has to be delivered, and now the big question is, how has this to be delivered? And the short answer is OPC Foundation takes care, and at the end of the day, the Digital Product Passport and Product Carbon Footprint is a kind of a companion spec. It's a node set file which you load into your OPC UA server, right? So it's easy. And talking about the digital twin, that are not digital twins, it's real twins, and in the middle is my daughter, and I asked her for permission to show this. So what is a twin? This is a technical twin. What is a technical twin? There are so many definitions out on the market, and what happens is, and this is exactly why I like to open your mind a little bit. Here we have our physical asset, and I selected randomly a robot with a robot companion spec from the VDMA. Okay, I'm the real robot. And now in the cloud, with just pressing one click, you can create an instance with open source, based on the delivery of the OPC Foundation, plus additional stuff what has been donated to Digital Twin Consortium, and you can create a digital twin leveraging the companion specification and upload all the information. Okay. So that's already there, what we have shown last year. But now we are extending this and saying, okay, the administrative regulations, what are coming on the road, we are also able to load into the digital twin, or whatever you call it, the OPC server. Technically, it's an OPC server running in the cloud, and you can also load the digital product passport and product carbon footprint into that OPC server. And so I don't dive into the details. So the asset administration shell is a little bit more till now the German flavor. They try to be more European and international. But we were keeping their file format, and we were keeping their OPC UA REST interfaces. So they have their interoperability, but we believe that we have a super powerful technology behind. And obviously, we don't care, because we just offer technology if the solutions, DPP and product carbon footprint, are running inside the field or in the edge or in the cloud, right? It's OPC UA and it scales. And this is an offering to everybody who like to use it. And this brings me to this point. A lot of people believe, yeah, but this doesn't work. OPC has too many features, and we don't need TCP and UDP in the cloud. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm still technical. I was a developer. Yes, there's also no TSN in the cloud, right? But it's a little bit like the Swiss knife. You can have a full-blown up OPC UA server with all technical functionalities, but if you only want to make something small, you can also take the smaller version with smaller function set. And so if you run an OPC server for data spaces, for digital twins, obviously, you deactivate TCP and UDP, but we still have REST interfaces. This was also a little bit missing in Joni's overview, and the file transfer. A lot of people are not aware that file transfer is part of OPC UA since 2013. where you can upload, download files. You have directory service. You can search. You can rename, delete, whatever, read and write into files. All that is a powerful mechanism. And just we are not talking about this. People believe we don't have it. OK. A little bit news about certification and other stuff. We are realizing that the number of testing products has heavily increased by 20% this year. This looks really that the market demand for certified products and tested products is increasing. And that's fantastic. It's a good news always, right? And be aware, we are preparing a little bit. It's not a final logo, the future logo over there. But it will be a combination of OPC UA certified instead of this one. This is the, well, call it classic old one. But we want to have the brand OPC UA with certified below and with a QR code that you can scan and see what parts have been really certified. Because OPC UA is a brand name for a complete framework, and you don't know if you say certified, if you order it, it is not enough to order just OPC UA. So what do you get then? Do you get the client, the server? Do you get PubSub with TSN, with field, without, MQTT? So you need that QR code to figure out what are the features inside. Okay. One more topic is about the academic program. We spent really a lot of effort to create a set of about 260 slides addressing everything what you see on the left side about specifications, companion spec, security, services, modeling, and so on and so on. And this slide deck has been recorded by a professor. How should you explain it to your classes, to your students? And after that, we translated the slide deck into 6 languages: Chinese, Korean, Arabic, France. We didn't translate to German. That's what I realize right now, but okay. But it's available, and what we realized is that here from Finland, we only have 3 or 4 subscribed professors. So if we all want that the industry gets young talents which are pre-educated on OPC UA, coming from universities and have a knowledge on OPC UA, we need to contact professors and tell them, here's something which you can take and even steal content. You don't have to take the full blown up file set, and you don't have to keep the blue OPC Foundation master's slide deck master. Instead, it should look like you integrated that into your own slide deck, but you are able to explain it, right? So my request here is really, please, you are much more connected to your universities with project partners and so on. Make them aware to register here free of charge. They don't have to become a member of the foundation. For academic reasons, it is free of charge. Okay, now let's really, now I have to calculate here with my time. I think I still have, can somebody help me? 10 minutes? 10 minutes, good. Let's talk about success stories. And when we developed this historical wall, obviously it was very interesting. Okay, what has been the worldwide first OPC UA success story? And then I looked, what has I published, or what have we published? And oh, there's a typo. I spelled Beckhoff wrong. That's not correct. I have to fix that. It was the year 2009 where it was an embedded Beckhoff PLC, and from Matthias Unified Automation, the toolkit connecting wind turbines in the North Sea. This is what at least we know that has been the first public success story. If you know something different, or if you have additional information which should be integrated into the history wall, please contact us. So I know I contacted you, Joni. What is the success story from Finland, which is also on the wall? It was a year. Yeah, that was the end customer, Valio, with an MES project. But what year was it, roundabout?
They started 2011.
2011. So also overall pretty early, right? Yeah. And I realized that all the first projects, the first 2-3 years, has been wind turbines and water treatment. So everything was distributed. Number 1, it was embedded. Number 2, and security was a key feature, because it is widely distributed, and the pump is somewhere else, and you need connectivity to that. And it was over 2G or 3G telecommunication transport, and they were all using the automatic buffering inside the OPC server, where even the physical connection, the transmission, is interrupted. Both sides immediately realize with a heartbeat, oh, we are disconnected, I'm buffering information. And when the connectivity line, the physical connectivity line is re-established again, we can exchange the missing information. So the key feature of OPC UA in the first years was security, get it embedded into small embedded devices, and the loss of the break of communication is not resulting into loss of information. Right? Later on, well, these are success stories which we just started since 2019 or something like that. And the first one, and if you start here from left to right, the first 2 ones were because we wanted to show the world OPC UA is scaling into the cloud. And this is why here in this one, again, Espen was a key player with his company Predictor and his involvement in the Equinor success story to show their huge investment in OPC UA and their huge trust in OPC UA. And because I was yesterday in Norway and met a lot of Equinor people, and Matthias also reported, they did amazing feedback that they believe it's the world's largest established OPC UA project in the world, which can be, yes. I don't know, because everything is free of charge. You don't have to register or pay any fees or whatever to the OPC Foundation, right? So and they are really extremely thankful on the stability of all that projects. And obviously we wanted to show from the OPC Foundation that it's not only one company behind, just Microsoft. So we also wanted to show it is scaling worldwide for different suppliers. So we were looking from process to discrete manufacturing to Renault and Google Cloud. And they started a little bit too early, or we have been too late. Let's say we have been too late. And they standardized their own MQTT messages before OPC Foundation has standardized it and released it in 2018. They started in 2016, so they are pushing, they're using everything inside with OPC UA. There's an amazing success story recorded at the OPC Day International 2023, where he opened, while he was talking live, the intranet of Renault, where I thought, ooh, are we allowed to stream that later on and publish it? And he is a technology person, say I don't care. And you saw the number of increased OPC servers and the number of data points being connected. It was live, everybody could see it. It was such a strong commitment, it was unbelievable. I like to touch this at the end. I mean, yeah, everything is amazing, right? Again, through Espen, I learned that OPC UA is involved in largest energy photovoltaic project in the world and wind turbine projects, and I assume he's talking about that later on. With Miele, I give you a high recommendation to read that, because again, I believe that all of us are more technical and we all have that background. And then you normally say, like me, being 10 years a developer and 10 years a product manager, never change a running machine. It is out of warranty, don't touch it, right? And if you have to change something, okay, good, but never touch a running production line is also something what is normally a law in a factory. If everything runs perfect, why do you want to touch it, right? And Miele did it. They first made the decision every new production line will be based on OPC UA communication. And then they figured out there are so many benefits, and we reduce production cost by getting higher insights into the production, that they decided to even update existing production lines with OPC UA technology to get them on the same level. And even I thought, what are these kind of insights? And at this SPS show, and I can make a short teaser that one of the next stories will be from BMW, from automotive production. They came to the SPS show and thanked us and said, hey, we have so great experience with OPC UA because now we have so much insights on our structured data that we are able to figure out if something goes wrong. We are realizing where does it go wrong, and not just when it is reported somewhere at a specific later time inside the production. Because they can filter what parts are good, what parts are bad, and then they are looking to the complex data with all the structures and the semantic earlier in the process area, and they figure out, oh, these parameters are always correlating with the bad parts and with the good parts. And this is the real reason why something goes wrong. Really interesting. Okay. A few minutes, a little bit looking to the future and giving you also advice what's coming up. Because what I believe is that, yeah, how do we scale information? Not information inside an OPC server. I mean, how do we scale information about OPC UA technology? How can we keep you up to date and that you learn about the cloud library and there is something running as a digital twin and so on. And this is not easy. And if I look sometimes in LinkedIn and I get sick, right? I get sick on all this crap messages and fight and hate. It is OPC Foundation stopped on Twitter, by the way, or X or whatever the name now is. We stopped. I can't support that. There was one last message. We are no longer putting content here. We didn't delete it, so it should stay online. But this makes me nervous. So what happens in politics for years is now entering the technology world, where I thought we engineers, we have technical, precise answers, and something is true or false, or you can calculate it and it's bigger or smaller or whatever. You can measure it. And now politics comes more and more into this technology area. So the short question is, where do you find trusted information? Where is a single source of true information? And this is why we will next year, and I will just give you a super small teaser, provide our own OPC UA space where you have to answer 3 questions. What is your position? What is your industry? What are you interested on? And then you get a lot of information. And because I selected security, and now I say, oh yeah, I'm exactly interested on transport, encryption, and signature, and then out of the box, you get here this presentation from Uwe, but you get also other sources about BSI has reviewed something, or the FBI made a presentation, and so on and so on. So this is what we are working on. So there will be a list of trusted source, and we are scanning that automatically with an artificial intelligent bot, and update that always. And we are definitely trusting not only OPC Foundation content, we are also will integrate others. So I see a toolkit vendors with their success story, which we also easily can integrate into the system. Last 2 slides. As a summary, OPC is a de facto standard in a lot of areas. Again, Joni made that presentation, but don't forget the REST interface. I believe the REST interface of OPC UA, which is there since 2016, but nobody knows about. Even I didn't promote it because I didn't know about that. It is super critical important for the IT world, because out of the IT world, they are now able to access super easy standardized information from the OT world. We are taking care of the European regulations. The IT world will more and more learn that OPC UA is a super large and powerful tool set of standards. And that's why I truly believe we are growing into interoperability inside cloud applications between digital twins and data spaces and so on. My call for action here. Till now, I didn't see any public success story on the OPC Foundation web from Finland, so get in contact with me. Why haven't we done any podcast with Finland here? I'm not sure. I mentioned already only 3 professors are listed, so we have to optimize that. And yeah, who is the association in Finland who is talking more about cloud topics? We need to contact them. You need to contact them to talk with them. And with that, I'm at the end of my presentation. You can download the brochures and so on from somewhere else. Thank you so much.
Okay.